How do you have a proper wage for your employees that is equal to the amount of work that is expected without completely bankrupting your business? What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Actually Good Coffee podcast, a show where I talk about all things coffee related, all while I drink a cup of coffee. This past week, we sold 733 pounds of coffee total. If we're looking at last year's same week, we sold 851 pounds. Wow, what a great week that was last year. Hopefully we can get our numbers. We got to get that up. We're going to have to get that up for the month of July. The month of July looks to be the highest in volume. July, August, both pretty neck and neck. So it's going to be a tough month to beat on average, but I think we could do it. Call me crazy. I think we could do it. Today, I want to talk about scaling your business and the idea of a service versus a product, specifically within the specialty coffee market. I know, would you believe it? Talking about the specialty coffee market. Recently, there has been a article that's been posted through Coffee Intelligence. I really like Coffee Intelligence. They put out really pretty interesting articles within the coffee industry. They have a pretty good balance of keeping things like trendy, but also meaningful, and including considerable information within the actual coffee industry as far as research goes. Recently, there's been a very large wave of acquisitions. The most popular one that you probably know about is La Colombe and Chobani. Chobani acquired a very large portion of La Colombe, and since then the company has taken off. They've gone national. They've taken off like a SpaceX rocket, okay? And a lot of other larger commercial coffee brands have followed suit. Nestle recently acquired Blue Bottle. Lavazza Coffee recently acquired Kicking Horse, and Peet's Coffee, one of the original coffee companies, acquired Intelligentsia and Stumptown. I did not know that. But recently there's been this huge push for specialty grade coffee on a commercial level. Multinationals have seen opportunities to acquire established businesses that are well loved, respected, and needing investment to grow, says Tim Sturck, head of coffee and tea at Amers Coffee and Tea. They offer purchasing power, streamlined business practices, massive accounting departments, human resources input, and global reach. While these acquisitions offer opportunities for growth and market expansion, the challenge lies in preserving the essence of specialty coffee through both product and service scaling. So this is problem number one. When you acquire specialty coffee brands, it loses its charm. Blue Bottle is a successful example of this. They balance that both high quality product and unique service experience within their offerings, but people are pretty skeptical on whether or not they're going to be able to maintain that with this recent acquisition by Nestle. Those loyal to Blue Bottle are looking for more of it wherever they go, and Nestle can help with that. But the boutique style risks becoming corporate and can leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Coffee is a tough industry because there's a lot of nose in the air attitude, if you're all probably aware if you're listening to this podcast. If not, you are soon to learn. The atmosphere that you surround yourself in also plays into a huge role of the coffee shop that you're attending to. I actually go to coffee shops nowadays where I'm not even a huge fan of the coffee, but I just love being able to do work there. It's like my favorite part of the day, going to specific coffee shops, because I appreciate the customer service. I like the atmosphere. It's quiet. I can get my work done. Sometimes it's the only reason why I'm going to coffee shops. Specialty coffee has been long associated with a commitment to quality service and craftsmanship. Baristas undergo extensive training, invest countless hours perfecting their craft, and embody a sense of glamour and dedication to the coffee world. There's an expectation of product excellence that is directly linked to the barista skills beyond the quality of the coffee beans. This is kind of like the most recent argument. We talked about this last week with the recent push for automation within the coffee machines themselves, kind of where the focus now is going to be for a lot of these baristas that are working in the coffee shops. And what it seems like is the education that you're providing to your customers is going to be that focus now, that all of these actual mechanical aspects of a barista position has been overtaken by automation. That seems to be where where the focus is going to be. Now, quality service starts with the end product, says Tim. Coffee for many years was an unrecognized skill, with staff being thrown at a coffee machine as an afterthought. There has been a lot of work done to change that, and I'm proud to have been a part of this development, but it comes at a cost to businesses who must be prepared to invest. So how do you maintain these practices at a high enough level while also being able to pay these people a high enough wage? I used to work as a bartender at a bar in Asbury, and I remember a conversation I was having with some of my coworkers from a recent restaurant that had opened under the same parent company for the restaurant that I was working. Their focus was wine, and really, really high-end wine. And the problem is that you have these bartenders that need to be educated on this product, that are offering $100 glasses of wine. I'm not kidding. And they don't make any money from it because nobody's buying it. Maybe one or two customers are buying it a week, maybe. When you're walking out at night with a couple $100, maybe 3 or 4 on a good night for that type of atmosphere, and you have to be so educated in the product that you're providing, because regardless of what the customer is ordering, you're selling the product and you're also selling the experience with it. And when it comes at that high ticketed of a price, you have to really know what you're talking about. And I think that same idea applies to these coffee shops, because how do you have a proper wage for your employees that is equal to the amount of work that is expected without completely bankrupting your business? One way is by automating the machines, like I was saying before, so that a lot of the workload is actually put on the machine itself rather than the barista. So more of their job focus is actually on the product itself and having a deep understanding of it, and being able to focus on the customer too. There's actually a recent study that was conducted on coffee consumers in the Gauteng area of South Africa, and they found that 81% of the participants regarded coffee quality as a high priority, followed by 52% valuing customer service. That's a big gap between the product and the actual service itself. I'm not saying customer service is not a priority. More than 1 out of every 2 customers is saying that is a high priority for them, but 4 out of every 5 customers are saying that the actual quality of the coffee itself is considering that to be a very high priority. So the barista's role extends beyond brewing coffee to creating a connection with customers, educating them about the coffee journey, and elevating the overall coffee drinking experience. Indeed, one of the criticisms levied at specialty coffee shops that have scaled up through acquisitions or other means is that while the coffee may have retained its quality, the service has not. As Tim points out, upskilling and professional development comes attached with the price tag, and upscaling often means focusing on cost efficiency to enable growth. So look, there's multiple problems with this business model, obviously, and there's probably some that we haven't even talked about. But these larger corporations have the reputation and the expertise to know how to grow these smaller brands into larger corporations. It's just a matter of when at this point, and seeing which smaller specialty coffee brand is going to just survive and which ones are going to thrive. So that'll be the interesting to see over these next few years. I would say go to these coffee shops, check it out for yourself, see if they're cutting costs on staffs or atmosphere or a product, and really just get a feel for the industry yourself. That's the best way to figure it out. But either way, I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen, and I will talk to you again very soon.